What's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back again with another mind-blowing, earth-shattering, original, because it got to be original, theory for Raising Kanan Season 4. And in today's theory, Rock and Marvin bailed Famous out so they could track him and kill him quickly. Now, if y'all are familiar with my channel already, y'all know last week I dropped a theory suggesting that Marvin already killed Famous and dismembered his body, okay? But I'm gonna go even more sinister with this because we do not know what we can expect, as I'm predicting that Famous's death will be the craziest death of the entire season, and we may not even find out about it until at least episode 8. And I'm suggesting now that there's enough clues to suggest that Rock and Marvin bailed Famous out so they could track him and kill him quickly. Now, first, I'm going to defend Famous's honor and explain why he definitely ain't no snitch. But I'm also going to explain why Rock and Marvin found it advantageous to kill Famous, as they assumed he would definitely snitch. And in their opinions, even though I'm not them, in their opinions, they felt like it was justified. And I'm even going to say, well, it's better to not take the chance than take the chance at all, right? So come along on this journey with me. This is going to be one of the best Famous is dead or is he not dead theories that you're going to hear on the internet, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right now, people, first of all, we got to break it down like this. Before I explain just exactly how Rock and Marvin accomplished this feat and how we already have clues towards this, I first want to defend the homie Famous's honor by letting everyone know that the writers have already given us narrative proof that Famous ain't no rat, okay? First off, both Lou and Jukebox vouch for him. That is the writers subtly telling us that he's not a rat. His death is because people assumed he was going to be a rat. And it's going to be extremely tragic, more tragic than if Freddy's people came and killed him, because that's not tragic at all. That's just getting it back in blood. Now, question we got to ask ourselves is, if he told, then why isn't anyone going to lock up because of him? Why isn't anyone in jail, right? For all we know, Famous has been gone for months. At the very minimum, weeks. We don't know where he is, right? Because the writers are letting us know that people suspected him of being a rat, but the question is, who? Because Kanan has said, and Marvin has said, yeah, I heard he was telling, I heard he might have said something, but who's the people that said it, right? This leads me to believe that Rock assumed that it could go that way, or Rock said, you know what? I'm not even going to take a chance with this nigga, man. And the fact that he keeps being mentioned without showing up means the writers may intend, like I said, on Famous being the biggest and most tragic death of season 4. And now let's move on to how this theory makes sense, okay? Andre's connection to the police force, or amongst other lawyers, is where we got to look at first, okay? Now, we went from seeing Rock not being very familiar with Andre at all by the end of the season, to her being extremely familiar with him by the end of, what was it, episode 2? What could have happened to make them get so close? Maybe it's because he gave her a heads up on where Famous was at and let her know, like, yeah, Famous is being brought up on charges and the police are possibly trying to link him to y'all and build a RICO case, all right? Now, because Rock don't trust Famous, after he told Kanan that she put the gun in his bag, him being a potential snitch just wouldn't sit right with her. And now here's where Marvin comes in, all right? If Andre has connections to lawyers in Queens, as well as having the inside info within the police force, Rock would know Famous's charges. She would also be surprised as hell about them and would definitely assume Famous would snitch if given a chance. Plus, She may have found out that Famous, while being green in these situations, has already said something that's not exactly incriminating, but stupid. Now Rock, because she's clever, would be thinking to herself, how do I deal with the Famous situation as quickly as possible without bringing attention to myself and without Kanan finding out and being able to bail him out of jail first? And the answer is simply this: by bailing him out herself and then offing him. Chances are, Rock had Famous bailed out within his first 48 hours of lockup for Freddie's murder, in which it was probably already filmed the end of season 3, and they're just going to show us that as a flashback, okay? Now, after Famous is bailed out, she sent Marvin to pick Famous up and finish the job. Now, I also want to say, right, that upon making this video, I went on Google and looked up if you could pay bail for somebody anonymously. Because I know that in order to keep the body from being brought up on them or any kind of police attention, she would have to either have somebody who's innocent pay his bail, or she would have to do it anonymously, right? And you can pay someone's bail anonymously, right? But now moving on, right? So Rock would pay Famous's bail, right? Famous's bail would be very high and he would be shocked upon making bail. So Famous would get out and Rock or Marvin, most likely Marvin would be there. And Marvin would be rocking Famous to sleep. He'd be like, yo, what up, baby? I came to take care of you, blah, 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 right? Famous would be thinking there's no way he would be killed. He would just be thinking, yo, the Thomas family is the fam. They looking out for me, right? Kanan told Rock, they helping me out, blah, 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 right? And Marvin would play it cool and then drive Famous to a secret location. Upon getting to the secret location, while still in the car, Marvin will pull out his gun with a silencer and telling Famous to get the fuck out the car and then walk. Famous would tell Marvin, I'm not a snitch, right? Repeatedly. Why are you doing this? Does Kanan know you doing this? What's going on, right? Maybe even Famous last words are, I'm not a snitch. Don't do this, right? It's going to be real sad and tragic. It's going to be very emotional, and some people are going to cry watching this scene, right? And right before Marvin gives him the death shot, we see the scene of him putting his gun to the back of Famous' head, just like the scene and picture that has been floating around. And in order to keep this from ever coming back and being found out, Marvin would then take the body to Stefano to be burned in the furnace. Hence, maybe there is something to the end of that trailer where Stefano said Famous last words. Maybe, just maybe, man. Hence, no more Famous. Rest in peace. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God get that. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.